victory in Brooklyn over the Nets, 134 to 127. They didn't have their first lead of the game until midway through the fourth quarter. That was one of their best wins of the year and a true team win with so many guys who made game-winning contributions that it's hard to name the entire list. But we will try to do so throughout the course of the fifth quarter, where the Blazers got a big win and really a lot of excitement with big plays down the stretch from Brogdon, from Sharp, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant. DeWop Reef played terrific basketball. And the Blazers responding the way you wanted the team to respond after back-to-back blowout losses in Dallas against the Mavericks. You know, we were curious to see how the Blazers would respond after those two losses in Dallas, the most recent, a 139-103 loss on Friday. And it came with the coach expressing concern about effort. You don't hear that very often from coaches in the NBA. Well, the Nets raced out to a 12-5 lead with 7:03 left in the first quarter after a pair of threes from Mikal Bridges and a couple of free throws. Portland responded to trim that deficit to 3 at 15-12 after a Shaedon Sharp three with 5:06 left in the quarter. The Nets responded 9-4 run, taking a 24-16 lead with 2:48 left in the first following a Day'Ron Sharp dunk. Portland finished the quarter with a 10-6 edge, with the Nets taking a 30-26 lead into the second quarter. In the first, Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons each scored 6. Brogdon had 5 off the bench. Bridges led all scorers with 13. Claxton had 6. The Nets shot 50% from the field in the first, and they also had 16 points in the paint. On to the second quarter we go. The Blazers opened the second on a 5-1 run to even the game at 31 following a Reith free throw with 10:28 left in the half. The Nets then ripped off 7 straight to take a 38-31 lead. Royce O'Neal with 5 points during that stretch. The Nets held a 47-40 lead following a Claxton bucket with 2:48 left in the half, but the Blazers had a response. They got 5 quick points from Simons and a 3 from Scoot Henderson to close the half on a 10-5 run, cutting the deficit to 2 at 52-50. The Blazers shot 38% in the first half, but were a robust 7 of 15 from beyond the arc. Simons led Portland with 13, Grant 11, just 6 turnovers in the first half for Portland. The Nets shot 46% in the first half. Bridges scored 13, and Claxton had 8. The Blazers opened the third on fire, getting threes from Grant and Reith to even the game at 58. But a 3 from Cam Johnson and a couple of threes from Dorian Finney-Smith powered a Nets 9-2 run to push the lead back to 7 at 67-60 with 7:32 left in the third. The Blazers would cut the Nets lead to 3 at 71-68 following a Simons 3 at the 5:38 mark in the third. But once again, the Nets had an answer. An 11-4 run pushed their lead back to 10 at 82-72 following a Bridges 3. He had 8 points during the stretch. Portland would quickly respond to cut the deficit to 5 at 85-80 with 2:11 left in the third, following back-to-back threes from Sharp and Reith. The Nets took a 93-85 lead into the fourth quarter. Grant had 12 points in the third for Portland. Bridges scored 12 for the Nets. Both offenses working well in the third. The Blazers shot 50%. The Nets 63%. Both teams on fire from downtown. Portland 7 of 12 from 3. The Nets were 8 of 12 in the quarter. And the two teams combined for 76 points. Well, the fourth quarter is where things got really exciting as the Blazers opened the fourth with a lot of purpose. They raced out to an 18-8 run to take their first lead of the game at 103-101 with 6:40 left in the game. Brogdon, Reif, Simons, and Sharp, all big factors in the fourth quarter run. The Blazers continued to pour it on. 5 more points from Simons on a pair of free throws, and a three-pointer pushed their lead to 7 at 108-101 with 4:39 remaining in the game, forcing a Nets timeout. At this point, the Blazers were on a 23-8 run in the first 8 minutes of the fourth. 4 straight points from Bridges ended a 10-0 Portland run and cut the Blazers' lead to 3 at 108-105 with 3:36 remaining, forcing a Chauncey Billups timeout. The Nets continued to battle, tying the game at 113. After a Blazers timeout with 22.1 seconds remaining, Shaedon Sharp was able to hit a driving layup over Nick Claxton, giving the Blazers a 2-point lead at 115-113 with 5.1 remaining. The shot was awesome because Sharp, showing his athleticism, able to elevate and fully extend his right arm to get the shot up and off the window around Claxton, who was right there, who nearly got the block. But Mikal Bridges responded, hitting a fadeaway jumper over Tamani Kamara with 1.2 seconds remaining to tie the game at 1:15, and to overtime we go. Simons led Portland with 13 in the fourth. Bridges had 10 for the Nets. Portland shot 50% from the field in the fourth and 4 of 8 from downtown. Now, the overtime period did not start well for Portland. The Nets raced to a 121-117 lead with 3:24 left in overtime, but the Blazers finished with a flurry. Portland took control with an 11-2 run to take a 128-123 lead with 1:14 remaining. The run was powered by back-to-back threes from Brogdon. A Bridges layup would trim the Blazers' lead to 128-125, but Brogdon responded with another big hoop to push the lead back to 5. A Grant block on Cam Johnson, followed by a pair of Simons free throws, put the game away, and the Blazers win at 134-127. Malcolm Brogdon was a man's man down the stretch, scoring 8 of Portland's final 13 points in overtime as the Blazers were able to get the victory. And I mentioned multiple guys stepping up to make game-winning plays. You got 38 points, a team high, and 11 assists from Anthony Simons on 13 of 25 shooting. He was 5 of 10 from downtown. Nice to see him get that three-point touchback. Jeremy Grant, 16 of his 27 points in the second half and overtime. He was 3 of 7 from downtown. What a night for Duop Reef. 40 minutes, 15 points, 13 rebounds. He was 5 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 4 from downtown. What a find that guy has been. Shaedon Sharpe was immense off the bench, 21 points on 7 of 14 shooting. He was 3 of 6 from downtown. And Malcolm Brogdon, 18 points in 21 minutes, 5 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 6 from downtown. He scored 8 of their final 13 in the game. And they got 10 points and 4 assists on 3 of 8 shooting for Scoot Henderson, who played nearly 30 minutes in the game. The Blazers, 47% from the field, but the big moneymaker here, 52.5% from downtown, 20 of 38 from 3. They were plus 18 at the three-point line tonight, and that was a deciding factor in this game. Mikal Bridges scored a game-high 42 points, had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 15 of 26 from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown. The guy's awesome. They got 17.6 boards from Cam Johnson, 9 from Dorian Finney-Smith, and 16 points, 11 rebounds from Nick Claxton. But the Blazers get the win, and with the victory, improved to 10 and 25 in the year. The Nets fall to 16 and 21. Let's go out to the phones, 503-248-0620. The Preacher is with us. Preacher, welcome to the fifth quarter. What's on your mind?
Hey, man. Oh. Man, I'm dancing. Oh. Thank you.
Nice work, Preacher.
Maybe. Could be. But not tonight.
All right, appreciate the phone call, Preacher. 503-248-0620. We'll come back on fifth quarter. We'll get the thoughts of Chris Burkhardt, and we'll keep things rolling here on the program. Hey, Preacher, tell Holly I said what up, all right? Happy New Year, my friend. Blazers get the win, much needed in overtime, 134-127. Next game will be in New York, Madison Square Garden against the Knicks on Tuesday. Tip-off at 4:30. Game day starting at 2 here on 620 Rip City Radio.
Currency presents the fifth quarter shot of the night. Liberty Coin and Currency, the place to buy and sell your gold, silver, jewelry, and coins.
Bounce pass to Jeremy Grant. Defended up top by O'Neal. Now looks to Sharp. Slides into the corner for Reith. Wide open three on the way. Buries it. 1 point game, 30-29 as Reith gets his first points of the night. And the Nets are going to take a timeout 19 seconds into this second quarter.
That's because they've been dwarfed.
Fifth quarter scoreboard report, powered by Columbia Heating and Cooling, raising your expectations of comfort.
All right, we start with the NBA. Final in overtime in Brooklyn. The Trailblazers over the Nets, 134-127. Simons, 38 points and 11 assists. Malcolm Brogdon scored 8 of the Trailblazers' final 13 points. And they get the win. We'll move on to New York now for a game against the Knicks on Tuesday. A final in Cleveland, the Cavs 117, Spurs 115. Jared Allen, 29 points, 16 rebounds. Second quarter in Orlando, Magic on top of the Hawks, 32-28. Second quarter in Sacramento, Pelicans lead the Kings 45-23. At 4:30, the Timberwolves are in Dallas to meet the Mavs. Minnesota favored by 2.5. 5 o'clock tip in Denver. Nuggets a 16.5-point favorite over the Pistons. 5 o'clock in Phoenix, the Suns a 4.5-point favorite over the Grizzlies. 5:30 in San Francisco, the Warriors a 2.5-point favorite over the Raptors. And at 6:30 from L.A., the Battle of Los Angeles, Clippers and Lakers. And the Clippers as the road team, a 5.5-point favorite. Final Sunday of action in the NFL. Fourth quarter in Green Bay. Packers lead the Bears 17-9. Fourth quarter in Las Vegas. The Raiders on top of the Broncos 24-7. Fourth quarter in New York. The Giants lead the Eagles 24-3. Fourth quarter in Arizona. The Cardinals and Seahawks are tied at 13. Seattle needs a win and a Green Bay loss to Chicago to become playoff eligible. Fourth quarter in L.A. The Chiefs on top of the Chargers 10-9. Down at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, 49ers lead the Rams 20-13. San Francisco, the 1 seed in the NFC. Baltimore, the 1 seed in the AFC. Fourth quarter in D.C., the Cowboys on top of the Commanders 35-10. Finals from earlier today, Bengals over the Browns 31-14. Lions 30, Vikings 20. The Titans knocked the Jags out of the playoffs 28-20. Jets 17, Patriots 3 in what is likely Bill Belichick's last game in New England. Saints rout the Falcons in New Orleans 48-17. And the Buccaneers shut out the Panthers 9-zip. Carolina finishes 2-15 on the year. And coming up tonight, Sunday Night Football in Miami, 5:20 kick on NBC. The Bills and Dolphins, the winner will take the division and get the 2 seed. If Buffalo were to lose, they would fall to the 7th seed. And the Dolphins, if they lose the game, would wind up likely the 6th and end up playing a wild card game at Kansas City. So a lot at stake on Sunday Night Football tonight on NBC. That kickoff at 5:20. And, of course, tomorrow, 4:30 on ESPN, the national championship game. Michigan a 4.5-point favorite over Washington. All right, the Blazers get an overtime victory over the Nets today. And usually after a loss or two, people start to question the character of this team, the heart of this team, the coaching staff on this team. And then they respond with a really gutsy performance. First lead came midway through the fourth, Chris. But what I love about this game, yes, Ant led the way with 38 points, 11 assists. But good scoring from Grant, great effort, double-double from Dewap Reef, 21 off the bench from Shaden Sharp, and Malcolm Brogdon like he has been throughout the year, clutch. Multiple guys stepping up to make game-winning plays, man. That was awesome. Good game. Good win.
It's exactly what you want. You don't want it to be one guy having to take care of everything, which, again, something we've been used to over the last decade. But no, it was a good team win. You like Malcolm Brogdon coming up big. Kind of feel bad for Shea after that beautiful layup to take the lead with a few seconds left. I was kind of hoping it would be the game winner to get one of those, get that feather right there, but it was still a gutsy performance there. Made the smart move, I thought, right? You and I both kind of took that deep breath in the moment. We're like, because he was wide open for that three with about 11 seconds left on the clock. And it was like, you could take him if you make it. You give him a lot of time. Made the smart play, put the ball on the floor, drove to the rim. So, yeah, I like this game. A lot of smart plays, good team victory, good bounce back.
It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. All right, the preacher's out there again online. Should we go to him? I'm not sure what he was doing in his first call. I'm not even sure if he knew he was on the radio with us.
Okay, it's my fault. I just realized what it was. Go to him, you'll be okay. It was I made sure that the Blazer music didn't get on radio, but it was still in his ear. That's what it was.
That's why he said he was dancing.
Yeah, that's why. Now it makes sense to me. He told me, he's like, there was like music. I thought he was like making up stuff in his head. It was me. It was me. He should be good if you put him back on.
All right. My apologies. Preacher, the stage is yours, my friend. No music, no dancing, just fire away.
Man, I felt like at prom. I didn't know how to wiggle out of that. Okay, beautiful production today, man. That was awesome. I thought the production from morning all the way through was awesome. Travis Diverse, great call. Nice to hear a hometown fun call, as you say. It was awesome. I enjoyed that. Man, Chad, I always compared you to Howard Stern. So if we're talking New York, you've got a beautiful voice. I don't ask too much of you to put on, a couple people on there that, are crazy and stuff. But, man, you entertain me throughout any moment. As for the game, I won't lie. Like, Michael Brockton, he's almost like an Andre Miller. He's a plus-minus Moneyball, Brad Pitt kind of character. And I'm glad that we can trade for him for a good, future equity. But, with that AI, I used to not say I was a hater of AI. And then all of a sudden he starts shooting the lights out, and he keeps proving me wrong. And I was like, man, this guy is totally knocked out. And in the end, I love these noon games. I think there's a lot of energy involved. It's just like a pickup basketball game. So I kind of am going to end it with that. Other than with what I hear, I hear maybe you think about South Korea visit. There's a huge fanship. When Damian Lillard knocked down that fourth overtime win, the only demographic that I saw that was totally favorable with that win was the South Korean region. And I was like, man, there's a huge market out there. Man, it's a hard knock life. Love you guys. Love the show. Awesome.
You got it, buddy. Give my best to your wife, Holly. Hope you guys are well. Yeah, the Dodgers are opening up the year in South Korea for some strange reason. I've always thought it'd be fun to go over there and check a baseball game. They love baseball over there.
Oh, that's a big-time smart move, man. Good baseball market. And same with them opening up in Japan every once in a while. Huge baseball market for people who don't pay attention to baseball in general. I mean, the second best league in the entire world is that Japanese baseball league, and they send studs over here to play Major League Baseball. So, yeah, it's a huge market over there in Asia. Got to take advantage.
How about Dwop Reef today, man? That guy's a stud. What a find.
I mean, a 15-point, 13-rebound double-double, which is what you're paying $30 million to DeAndre Ayton to go do, and he's not he's only getting DMPs. So, yeah, that's a huge performance from Dwop Reef. You have to like it. I've said this multiple times. You're not going to get too high on it, right? And be like, oh, he's the starter of the future. But he's more than capable as a rotation guy. But if you keep playing like this, man, you give the coach reason to keep you on the floor, right? He changes the dynamic of the offense. He's smart with the shots he takes. I love the fact that he spaces the floor efficiently. I know that the analytics nerds love the metrics on him when it comes to the pick and roll offense. So, yeah, man, huge performance from him. I mean, better watch out. There's still plenty of season left. Maybe this whole, like, rookie of the year thing, maybe it's, in reach for some of these Blazers.
Reef may not be the starting center of the future, but he could be their starting center for the rest of the year.
Might as well be, and I definitely think he is latching on and proving that he's a very, very capable backup center right now. I think the sign of a good backup center to me is not only playing those minutes efficiently, but when stuff goes awry and you're forced to go into that starter role, you can do it and you can do it well. Drew Eubanks did that when Nurkic went down. And I think Duop-Reese doing that right now. He's playing that role super, super effectively.
Okay, we'll come back on fifth quarter. When we do, we'll hear from Coach Billups in the coach's corner. My guess is he'll sound a lot more joyful than he did after the game Friday in Dallas. So we'll hear from Coach Billups. The Blazers get the overtime victory, 134 to 127. Next up, the Knicks, Tuesday in New York. Tip-off at 4:30 game. Day starts at 2 here on 620 Rip City Radio.
The best performing team requires the best workstations. What's the Scoot is brought to you by Office Furniture Reborn. Need desks, better office chairs, or just the right file cabinet? Office Furniture Reborn has a huge selection of colors and sizes to choose from. So drop by Office Furniture Reborn's huge showroom just off Pacific Highway in 217 or visit www.officefurniturereborn.com.
All right, Scoot Henderson, 29 minutes today, 10 points, 4 assists, 3 of 8 shooting. He was 2 of 3 from downtown. And I think it was another strong effort. He got lost in the mix late when Coach opted for Simons, Sharp, and Brogdon. And it turns out that decision-making in terms of getting the win was key because Brogdon was enormous down the stretch, especially in overtime with those back-to-back threes, scoring 8 of the team's final 13 points. But, again, Scoot Henderson just continues to make progress. He was effective today, played with energy, didn't get as much of an opportunity, but we'll hear it in a few minutes from Coach Billups in the coach's corner. It sounds like he's going to continue to stay with the starting lineup that we saw today. And you were saying, Chris, that you like Sharp in this role off the bench where he was really effective today, but having Sharp come off as kind of that instant offense guy and someone that can facilitate too.
Right now for this team, I think he's playing really well in that sixth man role. I'm not saying, again, that that's what he's going to be long-term, Chad, but right now, second year in, what they need, I think he's doing well. After he came back from dealing with a little bit of the injury, he came back. He's at what? He went 15, 17, threw in 21 tonight, played in pivotal roles. I like it. I also think it's a smart play because I like getting Scoot next to Ant. That's your rookie and your vet on the floor together. And then you have that secondary rotation where Brogdon gets to play more point guard and you get Sharp in at the shooting guard where he's more comfortable. So I like this rotation that they're running with a lot, and I think Sharp is really playing well in that role.
You know, maybe in this search for continuity that Billups has struggled with, maybe this starting lineup is it right here. Kamara, Grant, Reef at the starting center spot, someone you can depend on, Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson. And then eventually you'll get Jabari Walker back, and then you'll have a nice mix off the bench with Sharp, Walker, and Brogdon.
Yeah.
That works.
I know, and then you just wish that you'd get DeAndre Ayton off of whatever's ailing him, man, because Ayton not starting at the 5 and then Reith in the rotation, him and Sharp together gives you some scoring pop in that second unit, and I like that too.
All right, Blazers get the win today, 134-127 over the Nets. We'll come back on fifth quarter, and when we do, we'll step into the coach's corner. We got to hear from Billups and get his take on what he saw today in the Blazers win, and strong fourth quarter and overtime period for the Blazers. Didn't take their first lead until midway through the fourth. They used a 23-8 run to get themselves back in the game and in control. And even after Bridges hit that tough shot with 1.2 seconds remaining, the Blazers stayed strong and got it done in overtime. They were down 121-117 in the OT, but used an 11-2 run to take control. And that's big time right there. Coach Billups coming up next.
Time Jeep of Portland presents the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups. Time for a brand new ride from Time Jeep of Portland. You won't believe the huge deals they're offering. With over 300 new and used vehicles to choose from, you'll find the perfect ride for your new adventure at Time Jeep. Find us just minutes away from the Motor Center off I-84 or visit timejeep.com. Drive with time.
All right, let's check in with the Blazers coach Chauncey Billups following the Blazers overtime victory in Brooklyn.
That was a play that was the first time we ran that play. Obviously, it's 1.3 seconds on the clock. There's not that much you can go to, but they did an excellent job of executing on that play. They really, really did. And Shaden almost made a miraculous play the way that he can. So I was just more happy with the execution, knowing that, hey, man, we just missed a tough layup. But Shaden was, he was locked in, and with them, again, trying to take and away. If they're going to put two on the ball, then we got to be comfortable wherever that ball lands at. I made an adjustment kind of late. The ball landed with two in the corner. He wasn't really ready to shoot that ball, so I sub got Malcolm in. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they're going to do, take him away. Let me get, some experience and some shooting in the game. And I thought that Malcolm and the guys did a great job of finding him.
Chauncey, you touched a little bit earlier on Malcolm Brogdon briefly, but big picture for the year, what has he meant for you guys, in the locker room and on the court?
Man, so much. Malcolm is I say it all the time, he's just a grown-up, man. He's a grown-up on the floor and off the floor. He's kind of like, our voice, if you will, or one of our, leaders, that when he talks, you listen, and he's in a tough spot here, because he's coming off the bench, and sometimes he comes off of the bench and don't have the ball in his hands, and he's a point guard. But he said, I understand where we're at, I understand what we're doing. When he plays, he does things like this. He's always a plus player, so I'm just loving having him here. He's like an extension of me out there, and even in that locker room, he's just a leader. So his presence is felt every day. We're lucky to have Malcolm.
Scoot didn't play the final fourth quarter or overtime, right?
Yeah. We were playing well. And like I said, we finally got some continuity. We finally got it going. It was nothing that he didn't do to not play, but you can't play everybody. You know how it is, and you get these two guys that are rolling. We just got to ride it out and see. Sometimes he's going to be one of those guys, sometimes he's not.
Do you anticipate going back to Ant and Sharp starting?
No. I'm okay where I'm at right now.
Coach, Metum, he was a bit in a foul trouble, but you put him back in at the beginning of the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
It shows the confidence you have in his mindset to be able to defend without falling.
Yeah, I'm very confident in Tumani, and I want him to always be aggressive. Even the last play of the game, Bridges hit a heck of a shot, but I put two in to guard him. He had a tough shot, but I thought it was good defense, and I trust Tumani, in those situations. Like I said, he's one of our better defensive players and rebounders, and he plays with the spirit that I have, with his toughness and stuff. So I thought he was good.
Coach, I know this is won by your team and their play, but we have sat here numerous times this year down the stretch and talked about how coaches' challenges on either side have played a role. It's the first time that I've heard cheers for Jason, who works in video, because you guys have years advantage tonight. How big of a role did they play?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, it's so much that goes into those challenges. There's really a chain of communication that has to happen. The play happens, and then we review it behind the bench, with Jacob and Eli, and they'll kind of give me what they see, and then I just trust them. I trust them, and so every single time, if they give me the thumbs up, I'm going for it, even if we lose it. I trust them. They know the plays that we want to challenge, the type of plays. You look at, we did a good job of managing our timeouts today, so we had some wiggle room in those late game situations. and I thought they were excellent today. So that credit don't really go to me. That's to Jacob and Eli. Those guys were excellent.
There you go. There is Coach Billups. And it's nice to hear his voice sound happy after a Trailblazer game. It's a good win. Good win for the Blazers. All right, that's going to do it for us. Our next Trailblazer broadcast will come up on Tuesday. The Blazers are in New York to meet the Knicks. Game day will start at 2. Tip-off will be at 4:30 here on 620 Rip City Radio. Tomorrow, Rip City Mornings with Justin Myers is going to be at 6, and the Rip City Drive with Dwight and Chad starting at 3. Your final score from Brooklyn, Barclays Center today. The Trailblazers 134, the Nets 127. For Chris Burkhardt, I'm Chad Doing. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon, my friends.
Yes! Get on up for the downstroke! Let's get out of here!